Yeah. Coming through hot like whoa, giving them chills like brrr. Coming through hot like chili in the pot, chilling on a hot new stove. Coming through hot like.
Welcome, y'all. Benchwarmers University. I go by R&B.
I go by Neely.
This is Neely. I'm R&B. See, it's on the bottom of the screen. Benchwarmers University. So, college football is kicking off. Well, it technically kicked off, but I don't count week 0 because that's like the dumbest shit I've heard. That's like the dumbest shit I've heard in my life. Is 0 means nothing. If you play the game, that's technically week 1. That's stupid.
And I mean, there was some pretty good teams that play in week 0, so it doesn't really like add up to me
at all.
Yeah,
like,
you know what I mean?
What is week 0? If it's week 0, that's nothing. That means that's the off season.
You might as well just call it a bye for a lot of these teams.
Yeah, that's week 1. Everybody don't play week 1. Sure.
Yeah.
Stupid.
Anyway,
I want to welcome y'all. We're gonna basically highlight the best of college football, college basketball, maybe pickleball. Who knows? Just gonna see. Yeah.
Yo, yeah, they might have some cricket somewhere too.
Yeah. So basically, as you know, college football is kicking off. It's been a lot of conference realignment. Basically, the Pac-12 basically doesn't exist anymore.
Yeah.
Teams like Oregon, USC, UCLA, they're all.
Which I kind of like though, because they put a lot of like good teams that were in these conferences that were just beating the hell out of everybody into actually conferences where it's actually going to be more of a challenge for those good teams, and we can kind of like see really more what they can do.
I get it. Some stuff's cool, but some stuff like doesn't make sense. Like Stanford being in the Atlantic Coast Conference.
Oh, that and California's in there, right?
Yeah.
And then SMU too.
Yeah, that it makes no sense.
Yeah.
Stuff like that, like.
Yeah, I didn't really understand that, and honestly, I don't really understand how it's gonna help for the players with a big, time zone difference.
That's a lot of traveling.
It is too, and I mean the time difference, especially for the people coming from California.
Yeah.
I mean that's gonna be hard.
You're flying all the way across the country. Sometimes for a 3-game road trip, you're flying there, and it said, of course, they got to go to class. So they're flying there, flying back, flying there.
I was actually about to agree with you. Like they still got like schoolwork and stuff. So they I mean, and like you said too, like they got to come over here and have like 3 games in a row or something over here and like get used to the time zone, or they can just come over here and be tired.
Yeah, cause I don't know about you, but every time I fly across the country, that jet lag is ridiculous.
Yo, it's mean.
It's ridiculous. So.
Dude, I remember one time I went to Alaska. We came back from 4-hour difference. I slept all day.
All day. It's crazy. But yeah, we got a couple of good games week 1. But first, before we even start recapping, we're going to give you guys our predictions for the season. Our conference winners. It's the new 12-team playoffs. We're going to see who we think. You want to kick it off?
Alright, so I'm going to give you mine. So I'm going to do the ACC champ is going to be, my pick is Miami. And then for the Big 12, I got Arizona. Big 12 ain't a strong conference when I'm looking at it.
Yeah.
For Big 10, I got Ohio State. And then for the SEC, I got Georgia. Now, for my number 1 overall, I'm going to say Ohio State. And then I have ECU winning, the rest.
5.
Yeah. But I have Ohio State is going to come in at number 1. I got Georgia at number 2. I'm going to have Miami come in at 3. And because of, the Arizona winning the Big 12, I got them at 4. And then ECU at 5 because of that. Got to rep the home state. But then at 6, I got Texas. And then 7, I got Ole Miss. And then I got Oregon at 8. Now, I just don't think that Oregon's defense is strong enough to keep them going. I think their offense is always on point. Next, I got Oklahoma at 9. I think Alabama, with the new coach and everything, is going to have an off season, but they're Alabama, so I think that's what's going to actually put them in. I got Notre Dame coming in at 11. Now, here's my sleeper.
Yeah.
It's between Auburn and Arkansas. I think because both of them have really hard schedules, but they play each other, and they play at Auburn, so that's why I'm going to pick Auburn over Arkansas. I think Auburn's going to take that, and I think that they're going to slide into the playoffs, just barely.
Who's your Final Four?
My Final Four, definitely Ohio State, Georgia. I think, what's it called? I think Texas is going to get in. And I think I'm gonna say Ole Miss, but I think Arizona. I don't think Arizona's gonna make it in there.
And what's the championship game and who wins?
Georgia and Ohio State. I mean, no, yeah, Georgia and Ohio State, and I think Ohio State takes it this year.
Takes it this
And
year.
Ohio State every year they just become
So close.
Yeah,
So
and I
close.
think this is gonna be their year.
I can definitely see that. So for me, I got Oregon winning the Big Ten. I got. Hold on. Let me pull it back up. Hold on. Excuse me. Sorry.
Oregon with the Big Ten. That's a
No, yeah, I got Oregon winning the Big Ten. I got Colorado winning the Big 12. I think that is wide open. I think they got a new offensive line. I believe. I think Colorado can take the Big 12. Okay. I got Georgia winning the SEC. And I got Miami not only winning the ACC, but running away with it.
You think Miami got the whole thing?
I think they're running away with the ACC this year. And then my other seeds, I got my group of 5 teams going to be Appalachian State. I think their schedule is really favorable this year.
Yeah.
And they can score the best of them. You see, they had some shootouts with your UNC team the last couple of years.
Yeah.
I think they can score with the best of them.
Yo, honestly, they do be hitting a lot of upsets
They
every
do.
year. They get 1 or 2.
They beat Texas A&M a couple of years ago
Yeah.
in Texas.
Yeah.
Like they got a squad. And then my other teams, I think Florida State will make the playoffs despite their week 0 loss.
You know, I gotta. After you say all your stuff, I got a confession to make.
I got Penn State making it. I got Ohio State still making the playoffs. I got Texas. I got Notre Dame, Ole Miss, and I think Arizona will make the playoffs also.
Yeah.
My final 4, I got Oregon versus Ohio State, which is going to be basically a rematch from the regular season.
Yeah.
And I got Georgia and Miami.
That ain't bad though. That's
My
pretty
finals in the national championship, I got Oregon beating Miami. I think Miami is going to surprise a lot of people.
good. Oh shit.
I think they're going to surprise a lot of people this year.
Damn, you really going strong with that.
Oh, yeah.
Now I will make a confession.
Yeah.
So this week 0, I had my whole thing set up. I had Florida State sneaking away with it, and then all of a sudden later, like week 0 starts, they get beat by Georgia Tech, and I was like,
Man.
I wasn't supposed to come on and reveal that I screwed up week 0. Bro, I didn't even get to week 1.
Right. Like, dang.
But so what do you think the game of the week's gonna be?
The game of the week, I think USC, they play LSU. Where they play? Let me pull it up. I think it's on a neutral site, I believe. I'd like to make sure I know what the fuck I'm talking about.
Yeah, not being like that dude. If you gotta take a second to look at the phone so that we make sure that we doing everything right.
Yeah, they play in Vegas. USC and LSU play in Vegas. And both are ranked. LSU's ranked 13th, USC number 23. I think a lot of people are sleeping on USC. I think one thing Laken Riley, the coach, does is their offense is always going to be good. Even with losing Caleb Wood, the offense is still going to be good. I think the defense is going to be much improved. And I'm not sold on LSU. I think that's going to be I think it's going to be a good game.
I think LSU will have a good season, but they're not gonna win the games that they need to win. But I think they will be good games, but they're not gonna finish off a lot of those games. Yeah,
I think LSU. I think they're about a year or 2 away from being really good.
Yeah.
So I expect a lot of close losses this year.
Yeah. Like it's not like they're gonna get their ass kicked anytime. It's just gonna be straight up I got for my blowout. Actually, for my game of the week, what did I have? I had I think Texas A&M and Notre Dame is gonna be a close game. I think Texas A&M might actually pull an upset. I think Texas A&M might actually pull the upset. I think also another good game is gonna be Miami and Florida. I just have a feeling. It's out there in Florida. It's the first game of the year. You don't really fully know, but I think Florida, because I think they got a pretty tough schedule this year too. So you can't be too crazy. But at week 1, sometimes people get in their heads. They see that they're ranked all high. They see all this other team. There's no video for them to watch or anything.
Yeah.
So then I think that's why week 1s and week 2s usually you see the most biggest upsets.
Definitely, yeah.
Yeah.
Week 1 is always hard.
Yeah.
Because if you're the underdog, you got all season to prepare for the team.
Yeah.
Of course, I'm a Duke fan. Last year, I went to the game when Duke beat Clemson week 1, and not only beat them, they dominated them.
Yeah.
Like they won, I think it was 28-6, but that should have been a 31-0 game.
Yeah,
because
Clemson.
of course, like Duke, they had all off season prepared for this team.
Yeah.
So week 1 is always hard.
Yeah.
Now we're talking about blowouts. I think Clemson, they played Georgia. So
at Georgia.
Yeah. It's a neutral site.
Oh, it's a neutral?
It's in Atlanta, so it's pretty much close enough. Yeah.
That's basically in Georgia.
Yeah. So I think you might as well go ahead and read Clemson the last rights, give them the last meal, because I think that game is going to get ugly. It's going to get ugly early, and don't let your kids watch that game. I'm like, if I was to give a score, I think that's going to be
I think 3-score game.
I think
Georgia.
I think it's going to be Georgia's going to win about 56-10. I think with them taking the starters out in the midway through the third quarter, I think that's going to be real ugly, really fast. Honestly,
I think the same thing too. That's one of the ones I looked at. You know, I think you Clemson fans, y'all just don't get your hopes up too high for that game, because I don't see y'all going in there and even competing with Georgia.
Yeah.
And honestly, like the past few years, ever since Trevor Lawrence left, Clemson has just been, it's almost their name that's carrying them in that top 25. I think it's their name. Of course, Clemson's always a good or great football team, but there's certain teams that sometimes they're just getting carried into because their name, because of, they've always been a good team.
Absolutely. And they got to realize nothing's wrong with that. Yes, you got some dynasties, Alabama. That's an anomaly. That's not the norm.
Yeah.
Teams usually got spots where you're really good for about 3-4 years, then players graduate, and it's hard to regroup like that.
Yeah.
In the 2000s, Miami was really good, and they haven't been really good since.
Yeah.
In about 2003 through 2007, USC was really good, and they haven't been good since.
Well,
and I think that's what Clemson is going through now.
Yeah. Honestly. What do you think about Alabama's new coach? No Nick Saban for the first time in 40 years or something. It's something crazy. He was there for a long time. One of the greatest coaches of all time in football.
I do expect the Alabama fall off, but I don't think it's going to happen just yet.
Yeah.
I have them not making the playoffs, but they're still going to be just outside of the playoffs. They're going to be one of the top teams left out of the playoffs in my rankings. Because, of course, they still got a lot of recruits who want to play for Nick Saban.
Exactly.
So it's going to be about 2-3 years before people are like, I'm not going to fucking Alabama. What the fuck? Because who wants to go to Alabama? People are going because, of course, if you're a high school player, I want to play for Nick Saban.
Yeah.
Go to the NFL.
And I mean, it's Alabama.
Yeah.
It's
Alabama.
It's Alabama.
I think the time.
Your name's getting seen from the NFL if you play for Alabama. Yeah. You could be a walk-on third string, and they still gonna look at you because you play in Alabama.
Yeah. And I do think the tide, no pun intended, is like slowly changing with Alabama, because, like you said, you don't have the greatest coach ever that these high school players are like, oh, I want to go play for them.
Yeah.
Especially these days with the whole transfer portal, NIL.
I see. When it comes to all the college sports now, man, I'm not that big on transfer portal. I think it made them take a second thought, like, hey, am I gonna go somewhere else because I know I can't play for a year? Yeah. But now it's just basically like, and it's not like, they could just jump team to team, no matter if they're really good, basketball, football, anything. It's just, if you're really good, you can just hop to another team. Yeah. They'll take you no matter what.
Yeah, and I hate it, because my biggest thing, the reason I like college football is because it's not the NFL. It's basically like a huge free agency every year.
Yeah. Who
has the most boosters with money to get these players to come, and I despise it.
And another thing too with the NIL, now it's like players can get openly paid, because motherfuckers get paid under the same.
Now it's like it's kind of like you're cheating on your wife versus now, hey babe, I'm gonna go bang the neighbor. I'll be back later. It's like.
Okay, honey.
It's weird.
I'll have dinner ready for you.
You can literally be like, hey, we want you to come play for my school. We got $1 million for you. What's up? Like, what? That's
and I mean, it's not like these schools can't afford it.
Like these days, especially like some of the top NIL players, like Shedeur Sanders for Colorado, he's getting paid more at Colorado than his rookie NFL contract is going to be.
Yeah.
So like, why would you ever leave college early? You're getting paid more.
Yo, and that's what I was saying too.
White chicks, like, why would you?
I said the same thing. If you were the top player, we'll go to basketball. Everybody was talking about my boy, because I'm a UNC fan. Talking about my boy Armando Bacot being there for 5 years.
Yeah.
Well, the thing about it, if you are the man, at a big college like that, yo, you can bang any chick you want any night.
Yeah.
You're also now getting paid mad money.
Yeah.
Yo, why would I want to?
Why would you do that? It
Yo,
doesn't
because
make
college
sense.
is also, a lot of these kids go to college to party. Let's be real.
Yeah.
You know, for the parents, it's the drop off. My kid's doing so well,
Yeah.
and the graduation for the kids is like, man, I can do whatever I want. Ain't nobody gonna judge me.
I tell you, people watching, if you didn't go to college, that's the only time in your life where you can literally
do anything without being judged.
anything without being
A
judged.
chick can go get banged by 100 dudes in a night, and nobody. Girl,
Yeah.
you do your
I'll say,
thing.
but once you leave college, your body count resets. So you can you literally do whatever you want, no judgment. All your friends live right there.
Yeah.
These days, a lot of my best friends are 10 hours away. They're not across the hall. You got a dining plan. You got a whole free buffet basically every day.
Yo,
like,
and another thing too.
why would you not want to go?
Another thing too is I've heard some of these kids using them AI things,
Yeah.
so they can like write their whole papers, and so when that has them write their paper, they'll be like, all right, AI, write this paper for me, go right back to banging some
Right.
chick and be like,
And
yo, I ain't
like
gotta
to
do
see,
nothing all
like,
day.
they're not going to school. Like, what's your
The big athletes don't have.
Matt Liner, his major was like ballroom dancing, some crazy. Like,
I didn't even know that was a major.
it probably wasn't.
Yo, that's like for the Olympics when they had the break dancing and stuff.
Yeah.
It's just,
That was rough. Yeah.
yo, they were like when they said that they had put that in there, I was just like, all right, I don't get it no more. But yeah, we jumping off the college, the sports part of it. We talking about how much fun y'all kids can go have at college.
I'm like, if you could do all of that and get paid millions of dollars,
Why would I leave?
NFL would still be there. Like, what?
It's always gonna be
It
there.
would still be there.
It's like, well, I would ring that rag drive. Somebody sit there and tell me, man, oh, so you're just gonna keep going, man. We don't have all these old kids. I was like, that old kid having more fun than your ass has
Right.
been having.
I mean, while we on college, let me sidetrack a little bit. I know you're familiar with Coach Harbaugh at Michigan, that whole scandal thing he got. Like, first of all, I want to say he definitely did it. Like, when they do cheating investigations, 9.5 times out of 10, they have the proof before it even goes anywhere near public.
Yeah, when it comes to sports.
Yeah. And I do think the worst part about that is, like, he went to the NFL. He did. So the kids on the team and the future kids.
Wait, where
are the
did he
ones
go
that are
to
gonna be
again?
punished. He's in the Chargers, San Diego, or LA now. Yeah. So the kids on the team and the future kids are the ones who's going to get punished.
Yeah.
They're going to end up probably not being eligible for bowl game for a couple of years. They're going to lose scholarships. And he's just in the NFL living life.
Yo, because they're already there at the
Yeah.
school, and but I guess if they're good enough, that transfer portal is what saves them.
Yeah.
And you know what? That actually might be one of the reasons too why I got Michigan not making the playoffs. I mean, Michigan is a good team. Don't get me wrong, but I just don't see they have a whole plethora of things going on right now.
It's a lot of distractions.
Yeah, exactly.
And of course they lost their quarterback, they lost their star running back.
Yeah.
I think they'll still be good. They'll win games, but I don't see them. And they got.
Hey, yo,
let
who
me pull
was
up the
it?
schedule.
Hey,
They have a tough
who
schedule.
was it? Who was it that would play for Ohio State? And they was talking about him getting paid. This was before them getting paid. And he
Yeah.
pulled up to like what's it called? The court case in like a fresh like
Yeah.
$100,000. Who was that?
I know you're talking about. I don't remember.
I can't remember. Hey, yo, somebody comment. Let me know. I can't remember who that was, but y'all know what I'm talking about.
And look at Michigan's schedule. Of course, week 1 they play Fresno State. Then they play Texas.
Which is us. I think they're gonna get their ass
that's a
whooped.
loss. They play Arkansas State. Okay, whatever. Then they play USC, which is going to be a tough one.
Yeah.
I think that's going to be another great game. Then they play Minnesota. They play Washington, who of course is coming off a national championship run.
Be getting their ass beat.
They play Illinois. They play Michigan State, which is all of a rivalry. Then they play Oregon, which I think is going to be a loss. Then Indiana, then Northwestern, and then Ohio State. I think they're going to end up with about 3-4 losses.
Yeah. Yeah, I just don't see them making it into. I mean, the one thing I do like about college football though is that if you lose one game, that could be the season.
Okay, yeah.
And well, I mean, it's helping them out a lot more with this 12-team thing. But
every game counts.
Yeah, every game counts. And that's what I honestly like a lot about college sports too, is because it's like, yo, you don't just, if you lose a few games in the NFL, it's like, all right. We still good.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But every game counts.
Every game literally counts, yeah.
Yeah.
You can't have the early season losses to come back to bite you.
Yeah, and you know what? If you
Unless you're Alabama, of course, you can still make the playoffs. But
slide in there, bro.
You just bump an undefeated team. But
Slide right in there. What's it called? Oh shoot, what was I about to say? We'll come back to it. I started laughing. I forgot what I was about to say.
So we basically gave our predictions and.
Oh wait!
Yeah,
I know what I was about to say.
yeah.
Is like when you have one of those upset, games like where Florida State losing to Georgia Tech. Now Florida State, bro, for the rest of the season, y'all are pulling for Georgia Tech.
No margin for error.
You need Georgia
Tech.
You need Georgia Tech to wax everybody because of the fact that it's like, we need them to look good because all that algorithm.
Yeah.
All the algorithm how they put into it. Watch Georgia Tech come in there and win the whole thing.
They need it because that's what happened. Like Alabama lost to Texas last year, but Texas ended up winning the conference, being a really good team, so it didn't make that loss look too bad.
Yeah, and that's why they were able to.
Florida State, and they have no room for error now. So the rest of the season, they play Boston College on a Monday night, actually Labor Day.
Who is this?
Florida State.
Okay, yeah.
What should be? I think this should win. Then they play Memphis, should be a win. California should be a win. SMU, Clemson, which of course I don't think Clemson's going to be as good, but Clemson could be coming off a loss or two going into that game. So Clemson's going to want to they're going to play them tough.
Where are they playing at?
They play at Florida State.
All right, so I think it's going to be a good game, but you know what? I think Florida State ends with like a field goal.
Yeah. Then they play at Duke, which is always a hard place to play for a lot of these away teams.
At that high school stadium.
At the stadium,
y'all got the track going on.
There's no track. They took that out.
Oh, they took it out?
Yeah, it looks like it's a real stadium now. The stadium came a long way.
Okay. I know, cause I went to a Duke game like a few years ago, and I was like, yo,
stadium came a they have a college football stadium.
Yeah, they got
stadium came a long
you got
way.
Cameron Indoor like looking all like prestige and stuff like that. You got you got track and field.
Stadium is legit now. It's good. The stadium is legit now. It's a nice stadium. Then they play at Miami, which I think is going to be a loss.
Oh yeah, that's done.
And then they play North Carolina.
Which
at Florida State.
But you know what? UNC, man, every year we always have a good quarterback.
Yeah.
And I think we have a really good running back there, thinking that he's going to be like all ACC.
Yeah.
But we always do well, and then all of a sudden, at the last 4 games, we fall apart. So I need y'all to step up because, I need y'all to step up as a UNC fan. You guys be playing hard all the way through, and then they get one loss, and then they're just like, it's over.
It's over, yeah. You can't do that. Then Florida State, then they play Notre Dame, which I think is a playoff team.
I think Florida State wins that game.
And then they play Charleston Southern, whatever online school that is. And then they play Florida, which is always a big rivalry game.
Yeah.
So now they have no room for error, and they have a pretty tough schedule.
Yeah.
Really tough schedule.
And they need Georgia Tech to beat the hell out of everybody.
Georgia Tech's schedule really is not hard either. Of course, they play the only ranked team Georgia Tech plays left is Notre Dame, Miami, and NC State, and they play all of those at home.
I mean, you never know though. But at the same time,
and then of course they play Georgia the last game, which is probably gonna be a loss.
That's an L. Nah, they got at least 4 or 5 L's, but. You know what? Florida State, y'all better be in them with the towel, all that stuff going on, man. Y'all better.
You got no room for error now.
y'all can't let them lose, man. Y'all got to go in there. They're gonna start going in there to the Georgia Tech games and going into the locker room at halftime. Like, listen, bro, we need y'all to step up.
Give them pep talks. In terms of the Heisman, you got any Heisman favorites right now? I know it's hard because nobody really played yet. You never know what may happen.
I don't have anything at the moment. After week 1, maybe I'll have like an idea. But I'm just gonna be honest. I don't have any idea who a Heisman would be. There's so many teams also too in the college football. You never know, and sometimes them Heisman players be somebody from Wake Tech.
Yeah, you never know. Yeah.
Community colleges, some shit.
I know. In terms of the favorites, the betting favorites is currently Dylan Gabriel of Oregon. He just transferred from Oklahoma State.
Okay.
Then Carson Beck from Georgia. He has to be like 35 years old now. He's still in school. How does that work?
Banging them chicks.
Yeah, see,
He's
like I
having
said,
a good time, making money, banging chicks.
Having a good time.
Yeah, he's the man on campus. Nobody ever comes in. And if one of those like douchebag like guys from college gets drunk and kind of tries to come at you, everybody, you don't even have to swing on this dude. Everybody gonna beat their ass.
Then Quinn Ayers from Texas. Then Jalen Murrow from Alabama. Those are like the 4 betting favorites. It's crazy how it always goes to a quarterback now.
Yeah.
Those are the 4 betting favorites.
It's always quarterback or running back or wide receiver, but it's always typically always hitting the quarterbacks.
Yes.
What if one day, man, we need like one day having like a defensive Heisman player.
Like the last defensive player don't quote me now, but I know Charles Woodson won the Heisman over like Peyton Manning back in like the 90s as a cornerback.
Yeah.
Kind of the cornerback from Michigan, what's his name? Will something, hold on.
But it's so hard for a defensive player to get the Heisman. It's way harder for a defensive player to get the Heisman than any what's it called? Offensive player. Well, and honestly, the only offensive players, you got your running back.
Will Johnson, that's what I'm saying, yeah.
Yeah, the quarterback or the wide receiver. Yo, what if you got like the best center in the whole league? Like, you never know. Like, that man's like blocking 3 people at one time.
They should, yeah. What's something we're also going to do at the end of the year? We're going to give out our bench warmer trophy.
Yeah.
Basically, who we think should win it and it might not be a quarterback, so it might be the left guard. You never know.
Maybe I go biased and I do go to it like a defensive player.
Yeah, you never know. It depends how they play.
Yeah.
The best player deserves the award.
Yeah, but they got to throw me some money on the side. But listen, I got you, dog.
Yeah, we take NIL money too. So while you watching, make sure you guys subscribe, please. Make sure you subscribe, share this, tag your friends, your side chicks, your wives, girlfriends. We're trying to get the subscribers up, get the numbers up, so we can get these special guests on the show. Make sure you guys subscribe. You want to tell me where to follow you?
You can follow me. It's at the bottom of the screen, but let me go ahead and tell you it's _, and Neely is NEALY _21. That's all my social media is that tag right there.
You can follow me at iPartyWithRB, and you can follow the show at Benchwarmers University. That's on Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, Twitter, MySpace, OnlyFans,
the whole shebang. The whole
Make sure you guys follow us. And yeah, we appreciate you tuning in. This show is gonna be airing live every Thursday at 6 p.m. It's gonna air live on the YouTube channel, Facebook, as well as the Instagram and TikTok. So do make sure you guys subscribe and
like and comment, share everything.
And follow during the week. We're also gonna be tweeting during the week about what we see happening. Damn. Clemson is really getting their ass up, shit. So make sure you guys follow us. Tune in with us. Yeah, we're going to be reading the best messages on air next week when we start basically recapping week 1 and go over to week 2. We appreciate you guys.
Hey, man. Y'all stay safe and tell your mother I love her.
Keep it real.